Once again, you are welcome to our channel, and please do not forget to like, share, subscribe,
Hello.
and invite your
What's your
friends.
name?
Thank you once again.
Hi, I'm Malik Thompson. I'm 17 from Brixton, London.
And what are you going to do for us today?
I'm going to sing reggae, old school lovers rock style. And I know what you're thinking. I'm 17. What do I know about old school reggae?
I mean, you weren't even born when most classic reggae was recorded.
Dennis Brown died in 1999, 10 years before I existed. But here's the thing, their voices raised me, literally. My grandfather played their records every single day of my childhood until he died. 3 years ago, and something transferred.
What do you mean, transferred?
When I sing, I don't sound 17. I sound like I've lived 50 years of heartbreak, wisdom, and longing. I sound like Gregory Isaacs came back as a teenager in 2025 with nothing but a suitcase and a dream of making enough money to bring his family over. He worked on the railways, faced racism every single day, lived in a tiny room in Brixton with 5 other Jamaican men.
That must have been incredibly difficult.
He said the only thing that kept him sane was reggae music. Not the upbeat stuff, the lovers rock. Gregory Isaacs, Dennis Brown, John Holt, Alton Ellis, those smooth, soul-drenched voices. Heartbroken and homesick, you need music that understands your pains.
And he passed that love on to you.
More than that, when I was born, my dad had already left. Mom was 19, struggling, living with my grandfather in his council flat in Brixton. Granddad Winston basically raised me. And from the time I could walk, he'd play those old reggae records every single day.
Did you enjoy it as a child?
At first, I hated it. I wanted to listen to drill, grime, rap, what my friends were listening to. But Granddad would say, Malik, this music has soul. This music teaches you how to feel deeply. Love completely, hurt, honestly. Modern music teaches you to be hard. This music teaches you to be human.
When did you start singing?
Granddad had a stroke, mild one, but it scared him. He became obsessed with making sure I knew all his favorite songs. He'd play a Gregory Isaacs track and make me sing along until I got the phrasing right. Then I would double the emotional tone, the way Gregory would slide between notes like honey. Here's where it gets strange. On my 14th birthday, Granddad gave me his vintage vinyl collection. Here's where it gets strange. On my 14th birthday, Granddad gave me his vintage vinyl collection. Over 300 records, all lovers rock and roots reggae. He said, these are history. These are feeling. When I'm gone, keep them spinning.
He knew he was dying?
He had pancreatic cancer, diagnosed 3 months earlier. Amazing, I kept it secret from everyone except me. He said he didn't want my mom to worry, didn't want to die in a hospital. He wanted to die at home, listening to Gregory Isaacs with me beside him.
How long did he have?
6 months from my 14th birthday. And during those 6 months from my 14th birthday. And during those 6 months, he made me sing to him every single day. He'd be in bed, getting weaker, and he'd say, Malik, sing me Soon Forward. Sing me Loving Pauper. Sing me Mr. Brown. And I'd sing, and I'd sing, and he'd close his eyes and smile like he was back in Kingston. Power again, got young again, before the world got hard.
That's beautiful.
3 days before he died, something changed. I was singing Gregory Isaacs. I played If I Don't Have You, and Granddad opened his eyes and stared at me. He said, Malik, that's not your voice coming out. That's Gregory. That's the ancestors. You're not singing like them, you're singing through them. What did he mean? I didn't understand then. But when I listened back to a recording my mom had made, I sounded 50 years old. My voice had this warmth, this worn down wisdom and felt like this ache that a 14-year-old shouldn't be able to produce. It was like Gregory Isaacs' spirit was using my vocal cords. Granddad Winston died on August 3rd, 2022. I was 14 years old. His funeral in Brixton, there were maybe 60 people, old Jamaican men who'd come to London in the 60s, children, their grandchildren. And before they closed the casket, my mom asked if I wanted to sing.
What did you sing?
Gregory Isaacs' Night Nurse, Granddad's favorite song. About needing someone to heal your pain, to ease your suffering. I stood at the front of that church. I looked at my grandfather in that casket, and I opened my mouth. And it wasn't me singing. I swear on everything, it wasn't my voice. It was Gregory's voice coming through a 14-year-old's body. Deep, smooth, aching with decades. Some of them started crying. One man shouted, "Gregory lives! The cool ruler lives!"
That must have been overwhelming.
After the funeral, men in their 70s and 80s came up to me crying. They said, "We closed our eyes and we were back in Kingston in 1978. There are listening to Gregory at a sound system dance. You brought him back. You brought that era back." One man said, "Boy, you've been blessed." Or haunted. Maybe both.
How did that change your life?
I started posting videos on YouTube, just me singing Gregory Isaacs, Dennis Brad, John Holt songs in my bedroom with Granddad's vinyl playing in the background. Within 3 months, I had 200,000 subscribers. Comments from Jamaica, London, New York, Toronto, anywhere the Jamaican diaspora lives. All saying the same thing. This teenager sounds exactly like Gregory Isaacs. How is this possible? Last year, a Jamaican music professor from the University of the West Indies saw my videos. Dr. Marcus Bennett, he literally wrote the book on Gregory Isaacs. Glad Carubus and the Lovers Rock era, he flew to London to meet me.
What did he say?
He recorded me singing 5 Gregory Isaacs songs. Then he did a vocal analysis and frequency, tone, phrasing, emotional delivery. He compared my voice to Gregory's original recordings. He said my voice is 87% acoustically identical to Gregory Isaacs at his prime in the late 1970s.
That's impossible for a teenager.
Dr. Bennett told me, Malik, Gregory's voice was shaped by decades of smoking, drinking, life experience, heartbreak. His tone came from living hard and surviving. You're 17, you've never smoked, you've barely dated. By all logic, you should sound like a child, but you sound like a 50-year-old Jamaican man who's loved and lost and learned. He couldn't explain it scientifically.
What's his theory?
He said in Jamaican spiritual tradition, there's a belief that certain voices carry ancestral memory. That powerful artists, especially ones who die with unfinished business, can pass their gift through bloodline or through people who love them deeply. He thinks my grandfather's devotion to Gregory's music combined with Gregory dying right when I was born, created some kind of spiritual transfer. Do you believe that? I didn't. Until 6 months ago, something happened that changed everything. Gregory Isaacs had a daughter named Sasha. She lives in London. She saw my YouTube videos and reached out. She said, I need to meet you. My father visits me in dreams, and he keeps saying a name, Malik. We met at a cafe in Brixton, the same neighborhood my grandfather lived in. We met at a cafe in Brixton, the same neighborhood my grandfather lived in. The same neighborhood where lots of Jamaican immigrants settled. Sasha was 52 years old. She brought photos of her father, his old stage outfits, handwritten lyrics. He said, Sasha, darling, I won't live to see reggae's next generation, but I've seen the future in my dreams. There's a young boy in London, what did the message say, who will carry the sound forward. Not copy it, carry it, like a torch.
What did the message say?
Sasha said, when I saw your videos, I knew you were the boy from my father's message. My father's gift found you because you were raised by a man who loved his music purely, deeply, reverently. Your grandfather Winston was the bridge. You're not an impersonator. You're a vessel. My father's gift found you because you were raised by a man who loved his music purely, deeply, reverently. Your grandfather Winston was the bridge.
What did she give you?
One of Gregory's stage shirts from 1979. White linen with burgundy embroidery. She let him use it on stage. Here's the weirdest part of my life right now. At school, I'm just Malik. I'm just a normal teenager, plays football, gets detention for being late, stresses about exams. I listen to Central C, Dave, Stormzy. I wear tracksuits, and trainers. I talk about normal teenage stuff.
But when you sing,
Become someone else, something else. My speaking voice is 17-year-old Brixton boy. My singing voice is 50-year-old Jamaican legend. It's like I'm living two lives in one body. And it's confusing and amazing and sometimes terrifying.
Terrifying how?
Because I don't fully control it. When I start singing those old reggae songs, it's like I step aside and let something else flow through. I feel my grandfather's presence. I can feel Gregory's spirit. I feel the weight of all those Jamaican immigrants who came to England in the 60s and 70s, worked hard jobs, faced racism, and found comfort in lovers rock music.
that's a heavy responsibility for a 17-year-old.
Dr. Bennett said something that helped. He said, Malik, you're not responsible for recreating the past. You're responsible for honoring it while living your present. Sing the old songs with the old feeling. That's right, but bring your 2025 teenage experience to it. That's how tradition stays alive. It evolves through new voices.
So you're not just copying Gregory Isaacs?
I'm John Peak, no. I'm channeling the essence of that era. The warmth, the soul, the emotional honesty, but I'm singing about my life. About growing up fatherless in Brixton. About losing my grandfather. About being a black British teenager. Don't try to navigate two cultures. The voice is vintage, the stories are mine. 3 months ago, my music teacher at school asked me to perform at the year assembly. I sang a Gregory Isaacs song called All I Have Is Love. It's about having nothing material to offer, but giving all the love in your heart. But giving your heart completely. A student filmed it and posted it on TikTok. 12 million views in 1 week. Comments from all over the world. Jamaican grandmothers saying, this child has old soul. Music producers asking who I am. Radio DJs in Jamaica, London, New York playing the clip. The BBC did a story called The Teenager Who Sounds Like a Reggae Legend.
How did your school react? Teachers who taught me for years suddenly looked at me differently.
Like they'd been teaching a normal kid and suddenly realized I was carrying something ancient and powerful. My head teacher called me into his office and said, "Malik, I've taught for 30 years. I've never heard anything like your voice. You have a gift that transcends age. Use it wisely."
What about your mum?
My mom cried. She said, "Your grandfather is smiling in heaven."
He spent his whole life loving this music, and now his grandson is becoming part of its legacy.
You're proof that love doesn't die. It transforms. What meaning? Is that why you're here? To honor your grandfather?
And to prove that reggae lovers rock, that smooth, soulful, emotionally intelligent style, and it isn't dead. It's just waiting for someone to carry it forward. He died in 2010. Dennis Brown died in 1999. John Holt died in 2014. Gregory Isaacs died in 2010. Dennis Brown died in 1999. John Holt died in 2014. That whole generation is gone. But their voices, their feeling, and love, their spirit, it can live through someone who loves it enough. I'm going to sing an original song I wrote. I wrote it 6 months after Granddad died when I was 15. It's about sitting in his empty flat, playing his records, and feeling like he's still there teaching me about love, loss, and legacy.
You wrote it in the Gregory Isaacs style?
I didn't try to. It just came out that way. The melody, the chord progression, the lyrical style. It's pure 1970s lovers rock. Dr. Bennett said if he didn't know I wrote it in 2023, he did swear it was a lost Gregory Isaacs track from 1978.
What's the song about specifically?
It's about how music connects generations. How my grandfather used reggae to stay connected to Jamaica while living in London. How I use reggae to stay connected to him even though he's gone. How the same songs that comfort him in 1965 comfort me in 2025. How love and loss sound the same in every era.
That's profound for a 17-year-old to write.
That's the thing, I don't feel 17 when I write these songs. I feel timeless. Like I'm tapping into something that existed before me and will exist after me. Gregory Isaacs didn't just sing songs, he sang universal human truths. Love hurts, low S changes you, hope heals. Those truths don't age.
What do you want people to feel when they hear this?
I want older people, Jamaicans, Caribbean immigrants, anyone who lived through the lovers rock era, to close their eyes and feel like they're back in 1978 at a blues dance, slow dancing with someone. Slow dancing with someone they love. And I want young people, my generation, to hear that soul and emotion are timeless. That you don't need auto-tune or 808s to make people feel. Just a voice, a story, and the courage to be vulnerable. This is for you. For every early morning you woke up in a cold London flat, like missing Jamaica, playing Gregory's records to feel warm again. Gregory Isaacs, if your spirit is real, if you're really watching like Sasha said, guide my voice. Let me honor what built. This is Granddad's vinyl. I was 15 when I wrote this. I'm 17 now, but when I sing it, I'm every age at once. I'm the boy missing his grandfather. I'm the grandfather missing Jamaica. I'm the music that connects us across time and death. Lovers Rock taught me that a man can be strong and soft at the same time. That heartbreak is wisdom. That longing is love that hasn't died. Let me show you what a 17-year-old boy learned from a 73-year-old man's record collection. Granddad, I'm playing your vinyl one more time. Except now, I am the vinyl.
I sit in your empty flat, where the silence feels too loud, where your records line the walls like prayers that once were loud. Each sleeve tells a story of a younger man who came from Kingston to the cold gray streets where nothing felt the same. Your turntables gathering dust, but I can't let it go, 'cause when I drop that needle down, somehow I still feel you close. Gregory singing Night Nurse, like he's singing just for me. And I understand now, Granddad, what you tried to make me see. You said these songs are more than melodies and rhymes. They're proof that love survives the crossing of both oceans and of time. Every note's a bridge between the boy I am today and the man you were at 19 when you had to sail away. So I'm playing Granddad's vinyl, letting old souls teach me young how to carry all this feeling in the corners of my lungs. You showed me Gregory and Dennis, Alton Ellis, John Holt too. Now when I open up my mouth, somehow I'm singing just like you. These records that you left me are the only thing I need to remember that true wisdom comes from those who plant the seed. I'm 17, but when I sing, I'm 50 years of wise, 'cause Granddad's vinyl taught me how the truth never dies. Faced hatred and the cold, came home to that small room you shared with 5 other wounded souls. You put on Lover's Rock to heal what London tried to break. Those smooth and aching voices were the only friends who stayed. You told me, son, these singers know what hearts are really for. Not hardness, not pretending, but the courage to feel more. When Gregory sang Longing, you could hear Jamaica's shore. When Dennis sang of heartbreak, you remembered what you lost before. You said a man who cannot cry has never truly lived, and music this beautiful demands you have a heart to give. So don't be ashamed of softness, don't apologize for tears. Real strength is staying open even after years of fear. So I'm playing Granddad's vinyl, learning lessons from the past, how a voice can hold the weight of pain and still make beauty last. You showed me that these melodies are prayers in different form, that Lover's Rock's a shelter when you're caught out in the storm. These records that you left me are my inheritance of gold. Not money, not possessions, but the stories that you told. I'm 17, but when I sing, I carry 50 years, 'cause Granddad's vinyl taught me love is stronger than our fears. left this world, you held my hand and smiled. Said, Malik, when you sing like this, you're not singing like a child. There's something old and sacred moving through your teenage bones. Like all the ancestors we've lost have finally found a home. You said, I won't be here much longer, but I'm leaving you this gift. Every record in this collection is a prayer that time can't shift. Keep them spinning, keep them living. Let those voices teach you right how to love completely, even when you're losing every fight. So I'm playing Granddad's finest every single night alone, letting Gregory and Dennis guide this child who's almost grown. You crossed an ocean as a teenager with nothing but your dreams. Now I'm crossing generations with your record players gleaming sheen. These scratches on the vinyl are like wisdom in your voice. Each poppin' hits reminds me loving music is a choice. I'm 17, but I've been blessed to carry what you knew. That Granddad's vinyl is the thread connecting me to you. When I drop that needle down, you're sitting right beside me still, teaching me that real men feel, the tears can heal, the time can't kill. The love we shared through Lovers Rock, through Gregory's sweet sound, through every single record where your younger self was found. I'm playing Granddad's vinyl, and I swear you're still out.
Once again, thank you for watching, and please do not forget to share, like and subscribe. And please do not forget that this channel is a fictional channel and we are all about entertainment.